Hello everyone, welcome back on my YouTube channel. As you see, I'm not alone. I'm just after a RC rally race. I'm here with Alexander, welcome.
Hello.
And when I go around, I always take a look to the other modelers that I see at the races. And always I see amazing things. This time, I spotted this Tamiya XV-01 made by Alexander that it's completely customized. But before of that, Alexander, something about you, from how long do you race, if you race only in RC Rally?
It's my second season in rally, but I had some experience with on-road racing before, I say 4 or 5 seasons. I wouldn't say I'm a veteran racer, but I know something about the cars and how they are made and how you should set up them.
Well, so if I understood correctly, it's like almost 10 years of experience in RC modeling.
Yeah, more or less, with some short
Breaks?
breaks. Yeah, but about 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years, and in fact, taking a look at your Tamiya XV-01, I can see that it's not stock, it's heavily modified. And if you can tell us something about your Tamiya?
I think, like every XV-01, it was a progression, so it was in steps. First it was a stock XV-01, then I tried the 3D printed chassis. I liked it very much, but I decided to try and make my own chassis to maybe tweak the things that I didn't really like about it, and also lower the weight of the car.
Okay, you said that you started with the stock one. In details, tell us how your XV-01 differs from the stock one and why you made these changes.
Sure. I think the biggest change is the battery placement. Like most of the modified XV-01s, it has a shorty pack at the rear to kind of offset the weight of the front motor. I also have the servo mounted like most of the custom XV-01s. Here I placed it very low to keep the weight as low as possible.
A question, do you plan to modify the position of the servo if you're going to race like off-road? Because I have some experience with Tamiya XV-01, and if you are going to add more ground clearance in the front, the steering arms are going to touch with the underplate.
Yeah, I will test it. I will have to move the shock towers and see if there's any interference. But it's easily movable. There's like shims under there, so if I have a different servo saver or something like that, I can just move it up and down. And compared to like the 3D printed chassis, I think it's 10 millimeters lower. So I think that's a big change.
Okay, and about the underplate?
Okay, the underplate is made from a laminate or G10 or FRP, however you want to call it. I made it myself. It differs from, maybe I took inspiration from the products of MB Racing and the 3D printed chassis. I made some small tweaks that I wanted to see. For example, as you can see, the front rear arm holder is the stock rear one. So I moved it here, and this allowed me to have the plate at 45 millimeters all the way here. And I saw on the 3D printed chassis that it was a place that it hit a lot. Yeah. There was a lot of plastic missing, so I think that helps a bit.
Yeah, this is going to help you when you're going to increase the ground clearance, because the suspension arms will move more freely.
Yeah, and with the weight of the XV-01 of the front, it very often like dives. And even if you have a lot of ground clearance in the corner, it's very close to the ground in the front. So I think that's a nice modification. On the rear, I used the adjustable XV-02 mount.
Oh, okay. So some parts of XV-02 too.
Yeah. It's actually a clone of the original part, but the inserts are unusable, so I had to print my own.
Okay.
So if you have a 3D printer, go at the clone, but if you don't have it, then just buy the original part. It's just better made. So I also 3D printed the covers for the battery and electronics. I was kind of scared about the temperature of the ESC, so there's the filter here on the top, and there's output filter on between the battery.
Ah,
and
so there are two filters, one for
Yeah,
intake
yeah.
and one for taking the air out, right?
Yeah. So I think that it works. Like you can see some airflow with the like a paper, but I think it's better than not having any. And
I'm amazed because this looks like a simple XV-01, quite simple, but I see that there are a lot of details, and each thing that I see, there's let's say logical steps behind it.
yeah, I probably spent as much time thinking about it as making it. So, for example, here on the chassis there are holes.
Yeah.
So you can put the screwdriver from the bottom and fasten the servo. And this isn't in the 3D printed chassis, and it's so annoying to put the servo in. Also, like if I want to unscrew the
Belt.
yeah. So normally I would have to undo the top deck, but here in the chassis there's a hole, and inside the battery cover there's also a hole. So I just have to take the battery out, and then I can undo the belt. So.
Okay, Alexander, if you're going to, let's say, improve this project in order to make also the differential easy to maintain, to disassemble, I will maybe switch from X-Ray to Tamiya again.
Yeah, I can't help, for example, changing the differentials. That's really annoying still. But
This is the Tamiya design for XV-01.
yeah. If there was a way to just take them out without disassembling everything, that would be great. But still, yeah, I just tried to do as much as I could with the design, and I think it's fine. I will make my own belt cover, and probably just cover the servo too. But yeah, that's the.
I
more
have
thing to do.
a question about the motor that you are using.
Yeah.
Is a lightweight motor or something similar?
No, it's an old 13.5 turn motor. It's 170 grams, something like that. It's probably a little heavy. I like that it is covered fully, so there's no dirt and I think it's getting into it. But I plan to use another motor, a 390 motor, that will be much lighter. It will be around 100 grams. I have a motor cover, motor mounting plate. So because the 390 motor has smaller circumference, I can mount it lower. So the holes are just moved down compared to the 540 motor. And yeah, I will just see what it does. That's a lot of weight that you take out from the front. But maybe that will be better for like off-road rally. Then the mass will be more 50-50 or something like that. So
Yeah, there's a lot to do in the XV-01. Looking at your XV-01, I remember that in order to adjust mine, that had a similar build like this, because mine was on carbon chassis. If some of you remember, if you follow my channel from the beginning, I've put on the battery something like 120 grams in order to improve the weight distribution, and then the model was more drivable. Talking about drivability, I'd like to make you my congratulations, because in today's event you got the second place with this XV-01. If you can, let's say, give some suggestions about the setup, differential oil, oil in the dampers and so on, because many of my followers, my subscribers, they use the XV-01, and maybe they're going to be curious to know also these details.
yeah, sure. So today the rally was as the very grippy track. It's very flat, and so it's very like on-road like. So I have a very low ground clearance, about 7 millimeters, more or less. I have very soft springs, 200 oil in them. The differentials I had.
200 the front and rear.
Yeah.
Okay.
The differential I had 10k in the front, 5k in the rear. But during the race, the oil got somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe you should
sliding.
change the O-rings. It's I really like to talk with you right now, because it's a reminder about my Tamiya XV-01, and also my Tamiya XV-01, in order to make it competitive, I was using 10,000 in the front, 5,000 in the rear. About the oil in the dampers, I was using 300 in the fronts and 150 in the rear. But it's still a pretty similar setup.
I must say I studied your videos.
Ah,
So
okay.
yeah, the steering is modified as per your videos. The CV joint is slightly sanded, so now it doesn't skip. So yeah, it was a great knowledge base, and
Thanks, I'm happy to hear that.
yeah, it surely helped me. And yeah, there's always a lot of things you can do with a model. So it's a journey. You try some things, you fix them, and this time, like this model and this track really played well together. So
You will see in off-road races.
yeah, and I think that the setup will be totally different. I think that the XV-01 is a great asphalt car.
Yeah, I agree.
But on an off-road, it's okay, but there are much better choices.
Okay, talking about performances, it's time to give a try to this model. I'm going to film you. You will film the onboard, so everyone will be able to see how this XV-01 performs. Okay, one thing, Alexander, show to everyone how you turn on this model.
Yeah, so I didn't want to open the electronics box. It's really annoying with all the wires inside. So I have a screw right here, and it's just above the ESC, so you can hear it running. I recommend if you have a 3D printer, you can design the electronics box especially for your ESC receiver, so then it's as small as possible, and also you can do something like this.
I'm amazed. A lot of interesting details. Thank you for being here on my YouTube channel. And guys, a reminder to please leave a like and subscribe because it helps to make my channel to grow. It has been an amazing run. Congrats! It drives in a very fast way. Do you have any ideas in order to improve it more?
I will just try different things and look what they change. As I said, maybe the lighter motor, maybe a lighter battery. I also was thinking about making a much heavier underplate with maybe steel, just to make it more stable. But yeah, let's see what.
Yeah,
will
but
happen.
just for my experience with heavier underplate, you will lose in braking. You need more space to brake.
Yeah. I mean, compared to the 3D printed chassis, I have 200, maybe 250 grams less, and I can really feel the difference. Maybe that's also the motor. Maybe with a 10.5 T, this would be like less noticeable, but it seems much more agile, especially here.
Okay, so guys, let me know in the comment section what do you think about this Tamiya XV-01. Alexander, thank you again for your time.
Thank you for featuring me.
And see you next week for a new video. Ciao!